Good evening, welcome to Definitely Discussion, episode 528. And today we'll be doing a episode on WPM. What are we? What are our intentions? What we're about? If you got questions, please put them on the right-hand side column. I'll be sure to get to them. Guest today is all the senior instructors. So besides myself, there is Nick Merchant, Jaime Aguilar, and Rich, who will be coming shortly, will also be coming in. But again, we're just going to give kind of a brief overview of what we're about. There's just been some kind of, I don't want to say misinformation, but some erroneous conclusions about us. And we kind of just want to straighten that out. So by doing that, we're just going to give us an overview. Again, if you're watching, smash that like button, tell us where you're watching from. And again, if you've got questions, please ask. Excuse me, hit the wrong button there. Sorry about that. I lowered myself instead of bringing folks up. Hey guys.
Hey, what's up?
So, how's everybody doing?
Good. I got a yakety sax playing in my head, man.
So, Rich should be joining us. We already got Brian Marr jumping in. David Parker. Okay, guys, how you do?
Which is at the temple securing the Piper scrolls.
Yes, that should be noted. Yes, and all right, hey Brian and David. Okay, so yeah, folks, you there watching, just based what I just to reiterate on the intro, we're just going to give kind of like an overview of what we're about and what we're not about. I guess maybe more importantly, there's just been some, not necessarily erroneous conclusions, but I think people making conclusions without really knowing what we're about, and we kind of wanted to just set the tone and what we stand for, who our original instructor was and what we're doing now and such. So Nick, what do you think far as like if you were to tell somebody, they approach you like, hey, what's this WPM stuff? Like how would you answer it?
I would say that WPM is a weapons-based system derived from the Piper knife system from South Africa. It incorporates, movement strategies and concepts, but it's basically evolved completely away from the criminal aspect to where Piper came from, and it's become its own entity. Not to say we don't come from Piper, but because the whole Western is in front of it, that we're taking what was derived from those from that system and from the people who practice it and who we learned it from, and we're applying it to Western culture, Western mentality, Western movements.
Absolutely. Jaime, what anything you'd like to add to that?
No, I think Nick hit it on the head. It's kind of reverse engineering a system that was made, with a criminal intent of ambush, and suiting it, to what Nick said, but also, to Western legalities, more of a self-preservation system. Beyond the tactics and techniques, there's also an understanding of awareness and intent. And I think that can, benefit the Western mind. Now, Western Piper methods as an organization, evolved from Lloyd's teaching, Lloyd de Jong, master guardian in the original Piper, and he entrusted you, Dean, to bring this forward in a comprehensive, in a structured order. And so that's what what it's developed into, under your guidance and leadership. And there's a lot of great people in it, a lot of great practitioners in it, and I'm very happy to be a part of it.
And we're so happy that to have you as well as Nick. And I think you both made some excellent points. Yeah, those who are watching might not know. I mean, obviously, we were all under Lloyd, kind of around the same time, actually. And, unfortunately, Lloyd, not sure what happened and all that, but we hope he's okay and doing well. And so, what it came down to was there was a void. The student body was kind of like, okay, well, what do we do now? So I kept teaching, assuming that Lloyd eventually would come back in the picture to no avail. That didn't occur. So it was kind of a crossroads. I didn't feel comfortable kind of still using his logo. And that ethically, that just didn't set well with me. So I talked to Nick and Rich and Jaime and said, well, maybe it's time we just kind of do our thing. And literally over a weekend, it was pretty quick. There was a logo made, there was a group formed. I mean, it just was. I mean, and much of what Jaime said, there are some fantastic people that we have in our group. And the reason why we grew fast and are continuing to grow, it's what we represent and how we conduct ourselves on social media. None of us are negative or egotistical. We we run a very tight ship as far as behavior and what we expect from people that are training in it, and it's paid dividends. We have a very good reputation. We don't look to the dark side. We acknowledge the criminal aspect of it. However, like as Jaime mentioned, there is a reverse engineering for a few reasons. One, to understand, God forbid, man, what if I saw this because somebody was watching a YouTube video or there? And also, how to kind of just defend, God forbid, if you had to defend yourself, and also in conjunction, um, how do we translate it into other weapons that are legally defensible as well? And I'm going to stop there. I got a few other things I'm going to bring up, but so Nick, when did you realize like, oh, I know. So in other words, all of us got into it because there was like initial curiosity, interest. But when did you like find out, hey, you know what? There's something to this, man. Like, like I'm really enjoying this. There's something to this besides the criminal aspect and all that.
Well, I mean, like I think most of us, and Jamie hit it with the whole reverse engineering. I saw it and I was like, Jesus Christ, I would never want to have to defend against that. And I wanted to take it to understand it and kind of just see what it was about. And what I really did like about it was it wasn't a very deep system.
Mm.
Um, as they say about some system, it's an inch wide, but it's a mile deep.
Mm.
And there's a lot of like little things that just how you put it together. That's where I think people kind of get confused with the self expression and creativity, where
Mm.
it's like, oh no, this is how I do Piper, and it's not like you do it with your own flair, but it's how you stack those pieces together and what your
Mhm.
intent is. If you take us three, and even Rich, we all have the same building blocks, but the way we put those blocks together are completely different and representative of our personalities and even our fighting styles. So when I saw that I could express myself in that aspect, I definitely was just like, okay, cool, I'm all in, Plus, you and Lloyd actually said I was pretty good, which I was shocked at. So,
So folks that are watching, Nick, Lloyd was very kind and um, had more confidence in me than I thought perhaps he should have. Just to be transparent and honest.
mhm.
And he says, "Look, I want you to teach. You're able to teach. So I want you to do." So I did my first Zoom, terrified. First Zoom I ever did, let alone the system that I didn't have years in, but knew how to relay at that point the information, which was basically level one introduction. But Nick was there, and so Nick is the longest tenured kind of student under me, and obviously he's doing incredibly well with it, and he teaches it. If you're in the New York area, New Jersey, top of New Jersey or whatever, by that area, you should absolutely seek him
Hey,
out.
could I say something regarding our whole history with Lloyd, if you don't mind?
Oh, please do.
You know, it's it was this kind of sudden where we were all under Lloyd, and for whatever reason, people want to have questions or whatever. Honestly, the story is this: he just stopped communicating with us, and I think the issue why we went forward with WPM was we had a lot of people who were invested with the time that because I think it was like close to 2 years we were working with Lloyd. Um,
Yeah, all
and
right.
we had no direction, but Dean was already kind of given the blessing to go with it. And what we wanted to do um, was honor our lineage from Lloyd and
Mm,
where he got it from, but not steal it, which is why we started putting things under the Western lens. So I don't want anybody thinking, and if you do, go fuck yourself. We didn't steal anything from Lloyd. Everything was put to us by Lloyd. We just decided not to just basically steal Lloyd's playbook and then be like, this is our own thing. We took what was given to us by Lloyd and we were like, well, we can't teach South African Piper, as it is because Western laws, Western culture, Western movements, and things like that. But what we can do is take the heart and soul of it
mm,
and adapt it to the audience that we have access to. And we're not saying we're better. We're just different. We just evolve for better or for worse, differently. Again, I still got love for Lloyd. Lloyd, if you're watching this, man, I thank you for everything and the confidence and the skills you gave me. But
100.
it was just a weird thing, and we have no answers for anybody other than we just wanted to honor the time and effort that a lot of us had put in, and share what we've had. And again, morph it, change it, not bastardize it, but also not steal it either. So anybody thinking we got our hands in Lloyd DeYoung's pockets, go fuck yourself. We don't. We wanted to honor everything that he had taught us, but we also wanted to make it its own thing, so we didn't bastardize it. So that's all I
I
had to
mean,
say about that.
no, well said. I mean, the big thing too, and that's one of the things that's kind of going around. And I don't necessarily want to say again an erroneous conclusion, but maybe just confusion and not knowing to know, um, is that we were all fine being quote unquote Indians under Lloyd. Like I was totally fine with it. I had no ambition to start a new faction. There was nothing that was political, that we left because there was nothing of the sort. Um, yeah, unfortunately, he kind of just left. And to reiterate, I wasn't just comfortable continue to use his logo and stuff. I just there was an ethical thing, just to repeat. But much of what Nick's saying is that we still embrace him as the one, from the sun, so to speak, that gave us the information. And there would be no WPM if we all didn't work with Lloyd. And we're just a continuation of what he started and propagated as far as Western ethos and what he was trying to accomplish, as far as the clientele that he definitely sought after. There's no mistake that he deliberately wanted the Western consumer per se for various reasons, and therefore things were definitely modified as far as legal, value system, way of moving, etc. And we just took that farther, but we didn't take it farther where we strayed from the core of what he gave us. We just went deeper into some stuff and gave more examples of it and all that. So we didn't change really anything. There's actually only two things that we added, which I'm not going to go into here. But so just so people know, we are sticking to what he gave us, just some expansion on some of the tactics. One of the things that Lloyd always said was Piper was made to evolve. That doesn't mean made to look like a different animal, made an evolution of some of the components that existed. We could go deeper in some of those areas.
Yeah, and Lloyd was huge on recognizing the criminal history and past, but distancing it. Lloyd would Oh, honestly, he'd probably be pissed at us wearing black shirts right now.
I'm
You
wearing
know,
Hey,
gray. I would put
yeah,
gray on.
yeah, but you got a
although
hoodie on, so you're even worse. You got more attention
the
points than
problem is though, it's just not white. Lloyd, and this is a little funny, guys. I'm going to get back to Nick. Lloyd was totally against any color shirts but white shirts. I'm not exaggerating. This is only white shirts. Somebody brought up about hoodies, and Lloyd says, "Yep," and they'll be white. And maybe if people listen to me and everything goes well, maybe I'll let them get gray. No lie.
No, he wanted us wearing collared shirts. He was very much
Yeah,
about distancing himself from the street
yeah.
element. He didn't like any allusions to it of it being a criminal or thug system or anything of it being used for evil. He
Guys,
was, yep,
this is my instructor shirt. Okay, you see that? Polo. That was Lloyd. Okay.
yep. He didn't want us wearing hoodies in the videos. He didn't want us wearing hoodies when we did lessons with him. He was very strict on that, and I think that's something that we kind of kept it embodied. And not to say, any other groups that do that, that's fine. I mean, I wear hoodies when I teach sometimes now too, or what have you, if I'm out in the cold. But I mean, that's just the culture we came from. Was Lloyd was very stringent on that, very stringent.
And we all accepted it and moved with it. Didn't contest it. It was his ship, and I was just happy sailor, just under him. Didn't question it. There. Hey, Rich. Anything you want to add? So what we covered thus far was what we're doing, what is Piper initially, what we're about, and you're just kind of caught in. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry I was late. I was training, not just on a podcast talking about training. Just saying.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
Oh, you were
I,
just training? I did mine like 12 hours ago, so
oh, not all of us head off for President's Day, sir.
I don't know what to tell you.
Uh, Dean, did you talk about the Golden Scrolls that Lloyd
No, but
gave
Nick
you
brought it up though.
for?
You
Okay.
were you were we said you were back at the temple, making sure the scrolls were back into place.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was really doing. Yeah.
So Nick, Nick was kind enough to say that you had a very important duty. So,
Yeah. The scrolls
uh,
are fine. I checked.
okay. So, but anything you want to add, as far as like Lloyd transition to WPM and kind of where we're at now?
From what I heard, it sounded like you guys covered a lot of the important elements to it. That we took what was given, and obviously you and he were already working on codifying the levels, and we just kind of kept the ball rolling.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm just sending Jaime a message. Seem to be dropping out of the. Okay. Yeah, it seems fine. It's fine here, but you guys, I'm not seeing any issues with any of you guys as far as hearing you or anything. So, Jaime, anything you wanted to add?
No, I think going back to the attire and the things that Lloyd had issues with. I think Lloyd had a vision for the Western market, specifically maybe up to and including the military, and so I mean we all know that some of these knife practitioner types can get into cultish type of behavior and mannerisms, and
Some
he wanted to stray as far away from that as possible to market it to a
To a different level of
he
clientele.
wanted to get out of that element, out of that um, dark nature of it, and with the Western mindset and legalities in society, he had just a different vision from it. And regarding as far as what he taught and how we proceeded forward with it, um, Lloyd taught all of us something a little different, but within the Piper framework. Um, we all have different strengths, right? And I think Lloyd taught us each something a little different, but within the Piper framework. And so what we've done is under Western Piper methods is just combine that. I mean,
Yeah.
we all move different, right? But you still see that Piper core um,
Well put.
within
Good
our
point.
movement.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I told people this, students this, Lloyd was the best teacher I have ever had that really promoted individuality and wanted no robots. That was the first thing from he wanted. Like he really wanted everybody, and I never had an instructor like that that really pushed that agenda and made sure of that. And I thought that was incredibly unique of him, and quite frankly, made him special in that regard because I just never heard stuff like that coming out of a instructor to the magnitude that he really stressed that. And that was something that really resonated with me, like the freedom to move, but as long as you were staying within the core components and weren't leaving the reservation. And that's something we still to this day really push with our student body. And we give, in the like what Jaime touched upon, reason why we're the senior instructors: one, tenure; two, we spent the most time with Lloyd; and three, we're the ones that really all had the different pieces from Lloyd that we didn't find out actually till one day we all got a phone call, to be honest. Um, and through all that, our student body is able to see us for, and it does trickle down into their flavor, and hopefully that will continue.
For me, that was one of the weirdest components because every martial art I studied before that essentially was okay, you need to look like the person teaching it to you. And when I was told like, no, this is part of the process is your self expression, I was like, I was like afraid to do it. Um, but I think the best way that was explained to me, Dean, was from you about we're all given the same Lego pieces, and it's our job to put them together in order to make sense for us, our background, our body type, things like that. Um, like we said, there are no jump spinning back kicks in WPM, although I'm still trying to find a way to sneak one in.
There
But
are
yeah,
goosenecks, though.
there's plenty of goosenecks. But the idea of us all having the same components and putting them together like Lego blocks in a way that makes sense for us, I thought was a great analogy.
Oh, GM Ron Saturno. Hey, hi, GM.
Hey, Ron!
Um, well put, Rich. Yeah, I mean, again, and the thing, with him leaving, you know, yeah, I mean, were we disappointed? Yes. Collectively, are we bewildered? Yes. Unknown? Yes. However, though, none of us are angry or resentful towards him because what he gave us in that. And so, I mean, he gave us more than him leaving. Um and so what's the point of being angry and resentful? We chose to move on collectively because we had people that were still very interested in this approach and what we represented. So what was the point of being upset and having ill feelings towards him and all that? We all hope he's doing well, whatever's going on, which we clearly don't know. But we're certainly none of us are having a grudge or any of the sort of that. We were just put in a place where we're either going to move on or kind of disband, and we chose to move on.
Yeah, man. Much love to Lloyd. Much love to Lloyd.
Yeah.
Again, I appreciate everything he is, and I hope he's doing well. Absolutely zero bad blood, man.
Yeah. So one thing I want to talk about, and what just so we can give, like guys, everybody looks at Piper and they okay, yeah, the criminal, the ambush, the different way of moving and all that. But there's so many other benefits that come from it, and for me was it really got me in tune with body movement. Like I became more in tune to how my body can move, and just seeing the benefits that transfer to my other arts. And I don't think that gets talked about enough because it's very easy to get caught in that capsule of curriculum and the levels and this and that. And but the benefits that Piper can give you to your other arts that you do, if you do any other arts, in my opinion, is it's just incredible. Nick is Nick
Renee,
Holtage.
a grudge.
Uh, anything you guys want to like, far as he's such a pleasant man.
What a maroon.
A ray of sunshine.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that with Piper, it's helped me look at things like things like with broken rhythm and unpredictability and unconventional
Mm.
movements. I think it's definitely like a card I hold up my sleeve when sparring. Because I'll break it out empty hand. Like I'll spar somebody in Muay Thai, and then I just start ice skating my footwork around and changing leads and stuff, and I'm much more comfortable with that. Um, Weirdly enough, I think seeing how my base system of Kabali Serrata came out, like being so tight, the way I keep my elbows in and everything, and being able to keep up with that in Piper only made it even more so for my Serrata in how I move and I shift and I adjust and stuff like that. So I think that one was kind of symbiotic. Both of them kind of spoke to each other. And I was like, hey, this will help you out of it. Oh, okay, good. Let's make it better over here. But definitely like the whole unpredictability of movement, which is what I liked because one of the things um I never liked about martial arts was just the katas and the
Mm.
forms and over and over and over. And I know that's a basis for it, but
Yeah.
you know, I'm an American guy from New York, so my attention span is non-existent. You know what I mean? No, it is, but I mean, it's just I like to be creative. I like to be always moving things and shifting things around and turning it over and hey, what's this and what's that. And I think Piper definitely allowed me to do that. It wasn't something that I went looking to do, but it was like a pleasant surprise in training.
Yeah, 100. I mean, again, it's one of the things we stress when you join us in WPM. There's a few things that we go over that we're about. And one of the things that we touch upon is that the benefits that WPM can give you to your other arts. There's three other things, but we'll leave those out. But yeah, much of what Nick is saying. You guys, Rich and Jaime, anything you want to add to that?
I want to know why it dropped me. All of a sudden, I got kicked out. I
I
think it's
swear to
because
God, I did not push any buttons.
It's Renee.
Renee has that
Renee
effect.
cursed
And
us.
actually, Renee's asking, are you guys talking about Medusa? Renee, how'd you know?
Never heard of
Um,
Medusa.
but Jaime, anything?
Well, you were talking about how the movements help in your other arts. I think one of Piper's strengths is at the range at which it operates because of where it originated inside a prison cell, and we've all gravitated to different ranges, right? Dean, you're tall, right? So you operate at a different range. Um, I like the proximity in which Piper originates, but there's also some concepts that um, Piper exposes you to where um, earlier Nick mentioned about how Piper what was it? It's not complicated, or what was it that you mentioned,
It's an
Nick?
inch wide but a mile deep.
Exactly. So the core movement patterns in Piper are, for me, three. Rotation, opening and closing, and the up and down movement.
Heaving,
Compression and
pitching,
expansion.
yawing, rotate.
Rolling,
Yeah. Well,
rolling, yawing,
you know,
heaving.
but
Yaw.
my point was that under duress, simple movement patterns would drew me to Piper was the use of the offhand, how efficient the offhand usage, and
Mm.
not only how efficient it is, but it's an extra weapon. You make a movement like this, for example, you realize that the target changed or you misjudged the distance, how you can easily transition to another movement pattern. Lloyd used to call them fast transients. When I first saw Piper, and Lloyd in particular, do these things, it for me it was a real eye opener. How easy Piper is to use under duress and within a confined space. And some of the movements that I learned from that we've been exposed to through Piper, through Lloyd, is how on demand and on the fly you can switch to another orientation, to another attack pattern. And just as an example, if I make a movement here this way and I realize that my target changed, I misjudged the distance, how easy I can transition into this now becomes a weapon. Now here comes my support stab here. If I miss, there's my weapon. How before I wasn't exposed to that type of movement. And so when I saw that, that was a big eye opener for me. How efficient, how compact, how powerful the movements are within a short span, without giving much of your defense away for an opponent to counter.
100, especially in the offhand use that you mentioned, Jaime. Like I don't, I've done several like FMA systems, and I've never seen, and sticking with the context of knife systems, never seen anything that has the usage of the offhand like Piper does. Actually, hate to say it's not even close, really. I just think they're really missing out on something, and not just from an offensive lens, defense and all that, what they can do. I mean, it's really, you know, it's pretty incredible, actually.
I had a buddy of mine
And
that I
just
did a.
just to add to that, Dean.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Em.
Oh, sorry, cut off.
No, go
Oh,
ahead,
this
Jaime.
is your life.
No, no, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but just
Go
to
ahead.
add to that, Dean, the concept that this is not the tool, it's a tool, is something that I think Lloyd stressed in a different manner to each of us, to our strengths. This is a tool, not the tool. There's other tools available: shoulder bump, elbow, um, a gooseneck, right? A hip bump, off balancing, with hit bump somebody's knee, and so all that is you know what drew me also to Piper is how effective, how compact, and how powerful it is within a short area.
Yeah, all that sea lot stuff.
No, not even though as I was saying, I had a friend of mine in the Dog Brothers who wanted to do a Piper, knife duel, and we
Mm.
were kind of like squared up and just with the knives and flicking. And I was like, oh yeah, and I just punched him in the face, and he was like, oh yeah, that's right, you can punch in a knife fight, and I think people kind of forget that, like you have other strikes, and other systems, the hand is more of like to parry this and the move, and
Yeah,
you get like the whole
monitoring.
hubad thing, and that's cool. But and
Yeah.
for me, like I love like the Western boxing influence because
Mm.
my Muay Thai background. The second I get a little uncomfortable, I square up in the Muay Thai stance, and I'm just as comfortable again. Because I'm like, all right, yeah, I don't have to necessarily worry about the knife. This hand can be doing this, and this hand can be doing that, and it's kind of good that there's more to it than that. And I like what you're talking about, Jaime, with the offhand being much more offensive and utilitarian rather than just a check or a parry or something along that line. Yeah, yeah.
The other thing too that I thought was really unique that I hadn't seen in other systems, because FMA has their own stance, and obviously Western boxing, Muay Thai have their own stance. The use of our own body weight in the manipulation of the other opponent, especially when we're in really tight, having them carry the body weight, 2 points of contact, using that ambush style. I mean, that walking with the hip. I mean, there were things in there with how we use and manipulate their body weight with our own. I thought was insanely unique to anything I had seen up to that point.
Yeah, I think all of it actually. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you take a system, and while you try to be that new student and not, oh yeah, like I could honestly say, like with Piper, it was like, no, all of it. No, I haven't done that. Nope, haven't seen that. Nope, never did that. Nope, never saw that. And so I mean, that was like kind of refreshing in a way, like getting exposed to like not so much a philosophical thing that Lloyd touched upon that we took further, but just the whole his whole methodology in the movement. It was stuff that like some parallel from the sea. Like I picked up on the sea lot because I'm from Burton, but overall though, I mean, just the knife movements and all the components. I mean, no, I hadn't seen it. So yeah, definitely unique in that regard. And just so folks, um, obviously if you're in WPM, you know about Lloyd. But if you're watching this, Lloyd was the first Master Guardian uh, granted by Nigel February. So Lloyd not only knew his stuff, Lloyd contributed to the because you don't make Master Guardian if you don't have some type that you contribution, obviously tenure, and your just overall ability. And I've always said it. And nothing against the other Master Guardians and all them. I think they're all fantastic. I really do. But in my opinion, Lloyd, I reached out to Lloyd after Burton suggested it, but I had watched some of Nigel's stuff. Nothing against Nigel at all. But I was immediately attracted to Lloyd's movement. To me, it just spoke to me. Like there was something special I was seeing that just, really resonated with me. And so Lloyd was not a chump. Okay. Lloyd was the first Master Guardian. Lloyd left, went to Dubai in 2009. Lloyd was inducted to the South African Martial Arts Hall of Fame. Lloyd created Piper System, which we were all part of. But Lloyd was a huge part of what went on down there. So I don't want anybody like thinking that he was just an instructor. No.
Yeah.
What we got here? I want to thank the great. Oh, absolutely, Curtis.
Don't ask me anything, Curtis. No, I'm joking. Thank you, Curtis.
Star Lord is one of the best. Yeah, Renee. We were going to speak on that, but we were just going to wait. But thank you, Renee. So, folks, if you're watching this that are not currently part of WPM and obviously would like to know more or take a class to check it out or whatever, you can reach out to any one of us four. Me and Nick will be doing a seminar. It's going to be on some basics. I'm just looking. Nick's going to give me some dates that are open, but we're going to be doing that. That's going to kind of be for new folks that might have an interest and want to check us out. So I'm going to be knowing that pretty soon. Coordinate that with Nick. But
Can I say something about like for new people?
yeah,
Don't take offense. Like, we vet people. To be really honest with you,
good point.
and some of us vet more than others. But I think for the most part is we don't want to have that like tough guy mentality. These I've come to be an assassin and this and that. Like you come to train with me, I'm not putting a knife in your hand. Just so you know that. Like I know Piper's technically a knife system. I don't. You ain't picking up a knife with me. So if that's what you want to do, then find somebody else. But additionally, like we're not looking to be a knife cult or a guild, or a journeyman or whatever like that. We're not going to send you a wooden box with a little velvet bag inside with a patch and whatever other bullshit happens with some of these knife systems. Um, it's just something that we want to teach for practicality, and we want like-minded people with us. So, I mean, if you're looking for that assassin cult group, keep going.
We're not the people. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather teach three people. Yeah, God damn it. I'd rather teach three people that I could trust than like I've had a guy where I was doing blade work, and then I just as soon as I put the aluminum trainer in his hand, his whole countenance changed, and I didn't like the look in his eye, and I kicked him out of class, and I asked him never to come back,
Mm,
and he got pissed, and I don't care, I'm not gonna have that on my conscience, that's why we don't, you'll see some demo videos, but we don't, we're very strict about putting out instructional videos. The answer is no, we don't. Um, it's one of our hard fast rules. We don't want to be responsible for access of information to irresponsible individuals.
yeah, I mean, we definitely screen. That's a great point that Nick brought up. So we're not just taking anybody. However, did we let people come in that we knew or that were under like another like martial art that we knew really well and the teacher vouched for them? Yeah, of course that has occurred. Yeah, but somebody that no none of us four know, like I had a guy reach out from Turkey and he was really ambitious. I want to be your rep over here. Next, you know what I mean? So we don't just take anybody. I mean it's a serious responsibility when teaching this stuff that and this is why we have our reputation is so stellar because we have incredible people in there because we just don't let anybody into the fold.
Yeah, no, I mean, like we want
Turkey's
it.
a beautiful country.
Yeah, it's cool, but like somebody call it. You ask me, you want to be a rep? You might as well be trying to sell me those great gis and patches and sport jackets that I get from the random messages on Facebook.
It depends on where they are. Like Turkey, beautiful country. I'd go teach a seminar if they need it. If somebody asked me right now to go to some other war-torn country, I'd probably be like, nah, that's
I'm not
not.
going anywhere near the Middle East right now.
No,
Yeah, somebody
Turkey's
called me and was like,
I don't care if it's free. I don't care if it's paid for. I
somebody
am
could ask
not
me to go to
going,
Ukraine and be like, hey, I'll pay you all this money to go to Ukraine.
I'm
No,
not going
thanks.
anywhere near there.
Pass on that one.
Listen. Turkey has the most amazing cinema you will have ever seen. Just look up Turkish Star Wars.
Really?
Oh my God, your mind will be blown.
Oh
Okay,
man.
basically, yeah. The Han Solo character fights a cave of teddy bears and cuts their arms off, and they shoot lasers at it. It's insane.
That
But
sounds
Oh my
awesome.
god.
aside from that, Turkey has a real healthy appreciation of martial arts. Man, they really do. They really do. So I mean,
Interesting.
I wouldn't be opposed to do that. If that was like the case, but like just call me up and say, "Hey, I want to be a rep over here." Pump the brakes.
Yeah, it was odd. And at the time we were really gaining ground and I'm just like, you know what? The fact that I'm just having like a question mark,
It's like
yeah,
that kid on the playground that walks up and goes, "Can I be your friend?" Hey, kid, that's not how friends are made. Are we
Just
friends yet?
tell them it's 10 classes, and it's 100 grand US, not Turkish money, and see
mm,
what happens. I'll sell out.
yeah,
I got 5 more years before I start selling certifications.
all right. I was going to only wait till a couple turn over to you, and then I was going to start selling certifications. um, that's another thing too, folks. We really try to keep, quality control. Like we put things in place. We did grow fast. There was some definitely catching up, some good problems to solve. Right now, we're kind of like I would say we've been the most steady now. We kind of got through all that, and now it's just maintenance, so to speak. But yeah, we're really yeah, and we all keep each other kind of like in check. As a matter of fact, one of the things like I've been dropping the ball. I totally forgot about it, the website. So, and that's on me. That is 100% on me. And so I have to get my stick onto that. I totally forgot, and that's my blame. That's my fault. So, but yeah, if when Nick when he swears a little too much and threatens people, I know I have to talk to him sometimes.
I don't threaten people. I just speak
I'm
my
just
mind.
kidding.
It comes across as threatening, but I don't
I'm
threaten people.
just kidding.
They're not threats; they're promises.
When Rich is posting these videos in a hot tub and these furry
They
suits, I mean,
just
I talk to him. I said, Rich, I don't know if they're ready for this. I mean,
Rich's Piper OnlyFans.
They were not ready for that. That is a fact. We learned that very quickly. People were not ready for that video.
yeah, I mean,
Rich is master of the sultry offhand.
and
I have a
Jaime,
two-handed technique that'll blow your mind. It's just
Jaime going down to the border, trying to get in trouble with the cartels. I keep telling him, don't go down there.
they're offering a lot of money to learn Piper, but like we said, we vet people, so
Yeah, I get bet, man. Oh wait, Jaime, can you? I bet.
just kidding. Yeah, just kidding. I have no connection, no interaction whatsoever with
Don't do
Telsites. So before
bad
somebody
things
gets
with
the wrong
night
impression.
nerds. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Jaime kept.
Sup, nerds?
I know. So Nick's when he says hello to everybody in the group, it's nerds.
Well, because there was that one point in time where all the posts, y'all were being a bunch of nerds, man. I was like, oh my god, y'all were driving me nuts.
I can't
Like,
stop laughing when you go into that voice. It kills me.
it was just like, yo, just practice your goddamn Piper and stop trying to quantify everything. Get a goddamn pocket protector. You want to be a fucking nerd.
Well, Nick, if I
there was a
Where's
lot
my
of that in the group
Cappy and my
chat early
pocket
on.
protector? Oh my god. Just yo, just practice, put up videos, shut up.
Go train.
Go train, yeah. Everybody trying to
Nick,
quantify
I'm not
everything.
at 60 degrees. Can you help me?
Is that a 33 degree or is that a 34-degree step to the right? What are you gonna do? You gonna fucking slobber all over me until I fucking give up? Is that your technique? Is that your defense?
But I ain't gonna be. I can't stop. Oh my god.
And you guys are laughing because you know exactly what point I just snapped on everybody. Like,
I
We're just
remember the three of us had four of us had our group chat on the side early on because it was like, what is everybody in the group talking about? Why are they bringing up
I'm
this
just too
weird
nice. I can't.
philosophical stuff? And we just kept telling them, go train, go train.
Oh my
is
freaking god.
is the 5 to the subclavian or to the pectoral? Oh my god! You know what? If I'm standing over here, it's to the side of the eyeball. That's where it's at. That's where it goes. Like just that, and I think that makes it a problem though for traditional martial artists.
God.
I think that makes it a problem for traditional martial artists to come into Piper because everything has been
Oh,
broken
that
down to them.
codification. Yeah.
You
Okay,
know,
that's a good point.
because they're so used to having everything so
Yeah, laid out.
listed and systematic that
Mm.
they're like, well, can I do this? Yeah. Well, what about that? Yeah. I don't get it. It's like whatever happens, what is the opening? You have to make a decision, and I think that's probably the hardest thing in Piper is being able to make it your own and be on the fly. Like I've watched all of you guys demo, and unless it was like a specific thing you were doing, if it was like a concept, let's just say it was like ice skating, you would show it once and you do it one way. But I know for a fact that the second time you did it, you felt something completely different. You still did the technique, but the ending was completely something else. And I think that that's a problem for people. That they have to see things go a particular certain way, and they can't grasp it conceptually.
Well, and I think for a lot of people that came in early from FMA, they count angles. So they were going, oh, this is my downward inward is
Oh,
number
yeah.
one, outward downward number two. Whereas we're like, this is our number one position, number five position, number four, whatever. And they're like, well, what's the target? We're like, we're not talking about targets. This is where we hold the knife. And they're like, well, does that mean I'm going to hit on that side of the neck? It's like, well, I could unless I drift. And then we start getting into the discussion of drifts and the angles. They were too like trying to codify everything. We're like, no, just start here and go there.
You
It's
know,
not
you
it's
know
not
what
an
I tell them,
angle
Rich?
count number.
I tell them the angle is where it comes from, not where it's going. So this is my 5. If I drop down, right, and I'm crouched and I'm still here, that's my 5.
Right.
If I step off to the side and I do that, that's my 5. So it doesn't make a difference where it's going as much as to where it's at in relation to my body. And I think that's helped some of the nerds figure it out a little bit
Yeah,
better.
I think what happened was when we started to talk about like the diagram of like, okay, I think somebody like drew one. I forget which student in the class it was. Literally drew one and like posted on the group. And we were like, that's it. It's literally just where you're holding the knife, the
It was
angle, and all that stuff.
Alex. Alex did that.
Okay.
Brent got humping the leg. I mean, we can't argue that. I mean, Brent,
Right.
It's important.
you're an instructor. You're good. What is? Wait. Okay, here we got a question from Joe. Hold on. I want to give this.
That's the humping the legs in the scrolls,
That
right?
is absolutely in the scrolls. Like,
That's a level 4 technique.
I have a question.
Only Rich can teach you that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
You have to sign an
yeah.
NDA though.
I'm at the right height.
Okay, here's a question from Joe. I have a question. How would you guys break down a typical class if you were running a group class? It really depends on the level, Joe. So I teach group classes on every other Sunday, every other Saturday, and instructor class on Tuesday. So it's really who's in the class and what we're on. So, for instance, to give you an example, Joe, let's just say they transition into level 2 and I'm starting level 2. So what I would do for the class, I would give them kind of an explanation what level 2 is about, what the focus is before I go into the components. They should be bringing level 1 to level 2, the new components, the affinity drill is really important, level 2, and then I would actually go into the separate components. But it really depends, like, on the level and what the previous instructor maybe covered the previous week, kind of staying in line with that and maybe picking back off what he taught. If there's a problem area, maybe we might just review that class again on a particular topic or component. So I hope that helps a bit as far as running a group class. But
You're too nice. You're too nice.
I know.
Because what I do,
I just start screaming and yelling at them.
No, I have you start with the basics, and then I just start going from there. Like I'm like, all right, how you let me see you move around the position, and I'm watching how you shift your hips, your shoulders, how you hold the knife, how you trigger, and all the basic shit that you should have picked up in level 1, right? In level 2 or 3, guys, I'm ripping it apart. Like my guys, like I start every class basics. Let me see the 5 positions. Start moving around. Infinity drill. Okay, let me see what you got. All right, let's start incorporating your offhand. I think when it comes to the class, Joe, like sometimes there's certain questions that come up. Like when you and Norm approached me for like a class, you guys had specific things you wanted me to work on. That's fine. That's different. It's like when we had this seminar down in Jersey, right? Rich and I had to think about like, all right, lowest common denominator, right? What are the things that these people need to do and to get them started like beginners, right? But how do we not bore the people who've already seen this stuff, right? That's where maybe the more critical suggestions come into play. And fine tuning and making the technique a little more sophisticated. You kind of pull them to the side and be like, all right, yeah, try to start doing this. And the other guy's like, how come you didn't tell me? It's like, because you keep stabbing yourself in the fucking leg. That's why I didn't tell you to do that. Once you stop doing that, I'm going to start showing you other cool stuff.
I think I might just go to a Nick class just to be ridiculous. I'll do something intentionally wrong just so he can come at me.
No, I don't yell at people, but if you're doing
I
something
know. I'm
stupid,
just
I
kidding.
will call you out. I will call you like people in the videos. Like I stopped commenting because I'm tired of telling you to rotate. I'm tired of telling you to keep your knife up. I'm tired of telling you to keep your offhand up. Like, how come Nick's not commenting on the videos? I've said it all before, and it's like, please stop doing dumb shit and bring something else for me to look at. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I think it was good, like to when you have like two instructors or more, you got to play up to each other's strengths and like Rich and I were on the sideline, like throwing ideas off each other off the cuff, and really just kind of like building the class as to what we saw and what they needed to do. So that's good. Yeah,
Everybody's
Dean's super polite
Dean's really polite about it.
because he's
I
a
guess
country guinea.
I am. Thank you for reinforcing that. I'm starting to really accept it, Nick, that I am a country guinea. Am I just too nice then in class? Should I be like angry?
You got to tell
No.
people, no, no, no,
Oh
no,
my
no.
guys.
That's
Okay,
not what
guys.
I
You know what I'm
said.
gonna do? I'm gonna pull next Saturday and Sunday, or next time I teach. I'm gonna go in Lloyd mode.
Yeah, you know what? That's
That's
the
not
other
what
thing.
I said. Stop. That's not what I said, Dean. No, Dean. No, that's not what I said.
Yeah, you know what? That's what I think. A lot of these guys in WPM who didn't train under Lloyd, they didn't have the joy of getting reamed out by him.
Rich got the words. You need to work on your observations.
I was not a good student in the beginning, and I was
Imagine
made
telling
aware.
that to a grown man. You need to
I was
work
made
on your
aware that I sucked.
observations.
Out of respect for Lloyd, I can't even repeat some of the stuff he said to me. Where like I was like, oh damn, like it's a good thing I'm thick skinned because I probably would have cut my wrists by now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post this
It is
again.
amazing we all went back.
Well, thank you, Brian.
He was like,
That was fun getting yelled
boyfriend?
at. Let's do that again.
No, but then at the end, really good stuff, man. Proud of you. It's like,
Yeah.
so for 58 minutes, you basically
Oh,
crapped all over me and yelled at me.
Yeah.
Jaime, you gotta have some. Jesus, you gotta have a few, man, huh?
Well, yeah, basically the same thing. But you know what it boils down to is, Lloyd saw your flaws, and of course he wasn't shy about letting you know about it. But
Oh, absolutely.
ultimately, we all learned, right? The knife arts are such that you have to learn the right way. If not, this is a serious matter, right? And so, yeah, I can. Wish I could have had a recording of some of those
I
things.
know, I know.
I think you
I'll never forget one
way to
time.
depending what
I'm
we were
just was
doing,
just
but
gaze. Literally, I was just gazing. And he goes, Dean, I need you to look over here and pay attention. And it was just one gaze, like that's all he did.
There was a time he did. We were doing the seminar. We were still with Lloyd, and one of my students wrote something like to the term of thuggery, and the phone call I got from Lloyd. He's your student. What are you? This guy, blah 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 blah. Are you an idiot? I was like, oh my god, dude. He was on top of everything, you know. So
In a
you
weird
guys got it
way, I
easy.
miss it.
They think I'm mean. They got it easy.
Oh my
It
God,
is, it
guys!
is amazing we all kept going back.
There's some who didn't continue. There's some like, you know what? This
Yeah,
ain't
and there's
really
some
for
who
me.
continue who didn't continue, and then they called their system something else. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, so
Right. Oh, sorry.
yeah.
I got something in my throat. I can't
You
seem to
okay
stop
now?
bullshit these days.
Did you get it out? Okay, I just.
There were a couple other big name guys, well known in the community, that did a couple classes and didn't continue. I'm not going to say their names, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh my God, that one message he sent. Oh my God, I'll never
yeah.
forget that. Like telling me the whole thing, and it's like, and all you keep saying, Lloyd, is no, 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 no.
Yeah. It's pretty par for the course.
And Lloyd's sending this to me. He goes, "What should I do?" Oh, I go, "Well, Lloyd, maybe don't say no anymore."
There, I'm gonna dig a little bit. There was that one guy who, remember, I tested with him, Dean, and he's no longer with us.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and he tried calling me out on some stuff, to which,
Oh, and he got put in. Yeah.
to which Lloyd called him hopeless. he, told, he told me, he goes, "Oh, that guy's fucking hopeless. I don't even want his money anymore." I was
I
like,
know. Do you
Jesus.
know what? If it's the same guy you're talking about, and I said,
Thinking of who you're
Lloyd,
talking about.
you can't do that. Lloyd goes, you know what? I don't have time for special ed. He'll never be. I'm like, what?
I know exactly who we're talking about now. Yeah.
I hope he
I was
knows
like,
who we're talking about.
I was like, Lloyd. He goes, I know you're much nicer than me teaching and all that, but I don't have time for special ed.
Hey, at least he didn't say that about the rest of us, at least that we know of.
No, he was.
I
You
know.
know what? In his weird way, he, despite him leaving, I know it wasn't anything personal against us. We didn't freaking do
No,
anything. I
No,
mean, he did generally like all of us. He did. I know that. You know what I
nah,
mean?
he was cool.
Yeah.
no, because he would. He. I know he particularly wanted us to like. He was like, "Hey, you got to train with me." I was like, "Oh, okay." No problem. And I know he did that with everybody here. So I thought that was good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That
then,
was good.
Well, I think that he, like on a personal level, yes, he did, ream us when maybe it was deserved, but he also spoke very highly of you all, so, and so there was, take it um, with territory, right?
yeah.
But ultimately, I think, it evolved into what is now WPM, which is, a great system. And I think it bodes well for the future.
Yeah. And again, I will always, always, always give credit to him. 100%. Not even a shadow of a doubt, man. I would not be here. All of us would not be here if it were not for him. 100, right?
Absolutely.
So awesome, guys. Well, those you're watching again, if you're not part of WPM or you have some interest,
Any
you could reach.
questions? Anybody from the crowd? Hello.
I think I'm caught up on the questions.
I'm looking.
I'm not seeing any that it was Joel had the one which I answered.
Brian's correct. The numbers are mechanics and our targets. The fluidity transition to step anywhere is awesome. Agreed. Thanks, Dean. Agreed. The classes that they know where you need to work and will tell you. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Dean's really polite about it. I pissed off my DeCampo instructor.
It's like I know, like they're doing everything wrong, but I'll find out one thing they're doing right, and I'll try to really.
See, but that was the one thing. And it was kind of like funny. Like when training with Lloyd, is like he'd pick you apart and you'd start asking him a question, and then something completely else took the rest of the lesson.
Oh, keeping him dialed in was
Yeah.
not an easy task. Did he ever start teaching Poland? Last spring and summer there were some videos, Brian, that were surfacing on YouTube that he was working with a group out there that he actually started working with in the
It was the
late.
military or the police or something, right?
Yeah, it was equivalent to swap, but there was also a gym he was out of too, and so there were some recent footage that stemmed from that he started working with before, right before he left in 2023 of April. Yeah, so but I don't know if he's still there. I haven't seen any recent vids, but I'm talking about last summer and spring. There was some stuff
Yeah.
that was surfacing.
I'm sure one of the nerds will track it down. Ooh, yeah, he's back.
Dean, have you talked to him? Are you going back, Dean? Is he coming back?
Fellas, give me 1 second. I got a super important phone call. My dad was in the hospital. He's okay.
Oh my God! Well, hey, we're gonna be wrapping up, so yeah. But
All
Nick,
right.
any closing thoughts you would like to give the audience?
Yeah, stop being a fucking nerd in practice.
You got it,
All
Nick.
right,
Okay.
everybody. I got to run, man. I love you.
All
Be
right,
good.
Nick. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
So, do you guys have any Rich and Jaime, any closing thoughts that will trump what Nick just said?
I don't know if we can beat that. I mean, he's
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's a hard act to follow.
eloquent. He's so eloquent. I mean, he clearly is an English teacher.
I know.
The elegance just speaks for itself.
It just rolls off his tongue. Poetry, you know what I mean? Paulo's defense. I'm a hard student to teach. Lloyd would have ended up calling me special ed. Joel, I got to be honest with you. You could very well be right. Oh my gosh. You know
That's
who?
who I just wrapped up with right before we started this. That was with Paolo.
Do you know who I didn't realize actually spent some time with him? I mean, besides Chad. Chad spent almost up to level 2. Chad spent some time. Joe Lennon. Joe Lennon got level 1 with him. Joe Lennon has some stories too about him.
I'm sure they're in the same vein.
Yeah. All right. WPM is awesome, and the movement is.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? You know what's interesting? Oh, you hear me?
Yeah. Now I can. Yes.
No, you know what's funny and interesting is being on the subject that Lloyd would teach some of us a little different. You know, Joe is a classic example of how he ran with it, and his ability to hide the knife and transition it. I mean, he's like a magician.
Yeah. Oh, he
You know,
is the.
and it's a very valuable contribution. Yeah, it's a very valuable contribution to WPM because especially if you're in law enforcement of how these criminals think and operate. Joe's an excellent source to see that.
Some of the stuff he's pulling off is.
I'm just amazed how he misdirects your or gets your attention over here and pulls out a blade from his armpit or behind his ear or something.
You see when he came out the door with
It's just
them?
amazing to
He had a
see.
shotgun.
Yeah, I saw the shotgun one
He came
recently.
out and then and all of a sudden he pulls out like a shotgun. Jesus, man.
Yeah,
When you
yeah.
think about it, though, if you look at the folks that we have, okay, we got talented, um, maybe FMA, the combative world, like Brent. I mean, you look at some ground people. You look at Mark Medeiros, what he did with the mid program.
Yeah.
I mean, Darcy could contribute with his flavor and all that, and really starting to excel in teaching on Sundays. If you look at and then Brian helping me on Saturdays. I mean, if you look at the talent in our group, I mean, it's for like everybody's bios or their resume besides WPM, it's pretty
Mhm.
freaking stacked, man.
We got some good people.
Yeah, yeah.
So awesome, guys. Well, I appreciate this. I think this went well. Thank you guys for coming on. And again, folks, we're gonna leave any questions or further questions. You're more than happy to reach out to any four of us. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you, and I'm sure we'll all be talking soon.
Cool. Thanks for having us on.
Anytime.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yes. And I think the folks enjoyed it. Insane martial art. Yeah, Brian, for sure. For sure. For sure.
All right, guys. Well, hey, don't
Is he
forget to
saying
subscribe
that?
to my
Is he saying
OnlyFans.
What's that?
No, is he insane martial art? Is he saying that at our level, or is he calling us like
Oh,
some of us that are like literally
Little,
insane?
that's a
little bit
good.
of both.
Please
Little
clarify,
combination.
Brian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little both. All right, guys. Awesome. See you guys. We'll be talking.
All right, everybody. Have a good one.
Thank you,
You
guys.
too. All
Yeah.
right.
Watch.
Move. Talk soon, Jaime. Thanks for coming on. That wraps up episode 528. Who and what is next? As far as FMA discussion goes, I'm not really sure. However, though, me and Renee will be on Wednesday. I'm not sure who our guest is, but sometimes it's not like there's not enough to talk about when you have Renee on, right? Find something. No, thank you, Joel. Thank you for jumping in. Yeah, and all the guys that came and watched this WPM guys, I really appreciate that. Like Brian, Joel, Brian, who else jumped in here? Yeah, thank you for doing that. I think Darcy, Brent. Yeah, here we go. I think I saw Norman, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Coming on, saying hi and everything. Thank you. Awesome. All right. Well, then, thank you for coming watching. And until next time, which will be Wednesday. And like always, it'll be posted on the FMA discussion on the pin post, and you will see what we're doing, who we're having on, or if it'll just be me or Nick.